Good morning. Good morning. The sun is shining. Now, good morning. I am out. Oh, look at this. Isn't that cute? They survived and it looks like they're thriving. So what we'll do with them is we'll bring them and sit them here like that. How's that? Just like that, so that we have this pot there and that pot there, and it looks gorgeous. Today, what's the plan? It's cold, so my plan is not to record. I'll just show you things as I go. Step one, I want to try and get this bed completed in terms of filling it with another bag of manure and then another bag of compost. And then 2 bags of compost, so 4 bags of... How many bags of compost do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So maybe 4. 4 there, 4 there. Because I have the silver grow as well. So I'll do a little bit in there, fill that bed, start to fill this bed as well. And the plan is to fill this bed with old compost. So in bags where I have no, in pots I should say, where I have nothing growing, I will uproot these guys because they're similar to this, and then I'll put them back in. I'll take some of the compost out. Say like if you take off the cane, then this part of the compost can come out, and I take off some of it like this, and then this can be thrown in there. So we'll do that in here. The garlic is doing absolutely hunky-dory, but this can come out and go into there. Apologies for the sniffling, but I can tell you it's extremely cold. Once that bed is done, I'm going to try transplanting all this garlic. This is some of the garlic I keep finding all over the place. So this pot has a couple of garlic cloves, and this can come out as well. And there is a little wormy in there, so it can go in there. Sorry if I'm moving you too fast. So yeah. Oh, look. Look. Pretty. Yummy. We're starting to see a little bit of life. And even my idea in my head is that I want to move this fig tree, but I think I'll leave it where it is. We'll just have to continue there. We need to, let's see, since I'm going to move these anyway. Oh, shall I kneel on it? It's extremely cold, so I'm going to have to find, see, look at that. So I need to separate this guy from these guys, and to do that I'll need to have my gloves on, so I'll wait for now and get it sorted. I'll be using these for some of my pepper plants because they work well for them. And I've got more pots up here which I can use to fill up the second bed. Oh, see, like this one here. There's a lot of roots, so I need to pull out the old chili plant. It's windy. I need to pull those out and throw them in there. This one I can't change, but I can scoop out some of this and add. It's actually soil. This soil is doing fine. This one I'll empty. Plan is to use these pots like this all along here with new water reservoir systems. So that's another thing to get done. These pots I like, but I don't really use for anything, so I'll have to think about how to utilize them. Probably need to pour some compost here. I put some grass seed down, and at the moment we're not having much because all I did was throw it down. I didn't do anything. This pot is full of garlic, which is doing absolutely hunky-dory. I raised it because we do have felines that sometimes think that they can use my plants for a toilet. Oh my gosh, look at this. These are garden peas, which have finally started to come up. And These are the Mitya peas, and they're doing absolutely fantastic. I'm thinking that, oh look, blueberries starting to wake up. And I'm thinking that I'll probably use this for peas in here. So I'll create a a frame in the center, and then I'll top it up with soil. I don't even need to top it up. There's enough soil in there because this soil was all composting down because I layered it, and I'll put the peas in there. Yay! So we'll have peas here, and maybe one of the other containers will end up being a pea one. This had, I think, a peony in it, so the peony is coming up, but also I've got garlic all the way around, so that's doing fine. I need to sort out this compost. Destiny, I checked on her. I was worried about the wormies, but the bin is very, very nice and warm, so I think the wormies will be okay. And this pot needs sorting out. Let's get going. Guys, I am loving this. So now I'm just going to top it up with a little bit of compost on top, and then I'm just going to plant into it. And I've already decided, I think I know what I'm going to put in there, because carrots would not cope with the richness of the soil. I am going to be putting parsnips in there. So we're going to have some parsnips there. Yay! It's exciting. I love these beds. They are so cool. I'm so glad I got them. I'm loving having solid soil in which I can actually grow without worrying about it, falling apart or anything like that. So I am really happy that I got them. The cost is a lot on the outset, but going forward, it will be fantastic. So what I might do is I'm going to create a small area in here in which I'll put some food waste and have an in-bed composting section there. And I'll also put an in-bed composting section in here once I've measured it up, so that I'm going to use the square foot gardening system in here so that everything will work the way I want it to. Okay, this is done and ready. I feel like screaming, but people will think me crazy, and my husband is looking at me and shaking his head. So it didn't take as much as I expected, but I am pleased that it is finished. So now we get started with that one. This is the way I'm going to run this, because I'm listening to a podcast. I want to get things done, and sometimes when you're recording, you don't get as much done. This rose seems to be surviving despite the fact that I've actually buried it all the way up. I'm assuming it will root and become more vigorous. It's a beautiful red rose which has been here since we first came into this place. I'm thinking that I might put the compost section there, because of the fact that that section is already good space for growing. All right then, let me carry on. This took 2 bags of compost on top of the manure. So that section took 1 bag. This section took 1 bag. I don't want to fill it anymore. If I need to, I can always fill it again later. All right, let's move on. Okay, we are getting there. I'm slowly emptying pots, and those pots are going to be refilled with fresh compost. So wherever I can, getting rid of old, putting in the base for the roots to break down and create an opportunity for, as you can see, you see this, old roots from old plants. So what I'm doing now is I'm partially filling this with old compost, and then I'll add the new one on top. And it's giving me the perfect opportunity to start looking at how I set up. This was one of my very first self-watering systems, and I'm looking at how I set it up and how I'm going to be changing it up for the new plan I have. The pot size is fantastic, so it's going to stay that size for my tomatoes, and the tomatoes are going to be going all along there. So for now, there is still some celery, so this is going to remain a celery. And look at that celery there, isn't that gorgeous? I wonder if I could transplant that into the new bed to give us a little bit of vavavoom and colour. And then clear this space. So I might do that to that. And also something else I might consider moving. I'm not supposed to be recording at all today. I'm supposed to be just getting on, but when you start, you start. This Swiss chard and this Swiss chard and this Swiss chard. This one doesn't look as healthy as the others, but it's just waking up. So I'm going to empty these, clear this. I'm not supposed to be doing this much. Ali at my Rusty Garden. Is it the Rusty Garden? Ali, I apologize. I know you and I see you all the time. Anyway, she told me not to overdo it. We have been out here for over an hour now, but now that I'm moving and I want to carry on moving for a little while longer. These circular water reservoirs are going to go along there with spaces so that I can mow around them easily and access the hedge for trimming as well. So I'm not going to put them together. The circular stepping stones are going to come out of here, and they're going to be what I sit the large reservoirs on. But let me carry on and I'll show you how I'm doing. So I'm going to have to think what I do with this, because I need to empty this. I'm going to empty that, empty this, empty that. These raspberries I'm going to give to my neighbor. He's got kids, so he can actually have them with my blessing, and the kids will love to have the raspberries. So I think that would be a great gift for them. Okay, let me carry on and I'll show you back when I'm halfway through. I just realized that you had not seen my face up to now. Day is going fantastic. The weather is being beautiful. There are a few clouds in the sky, but it's fantastic. Have a look. Beautiful, beautiful, sunny. It's windy, but it's not too bad. So what I am doing is, as you can see, the area is a lot emptier than it was. I'm slowly getting there. It's been, typical. It's been fine until I start to try and talk, and now it's getting breezy. Right. Ooh, yeah, and everything that is loose is flying all over the place, but I'm getting there slowly. I've emptied all those containers there. They're sitting here ready and waiting for the new system, which I'll put into place. I've taken the plants out of here so I can empty this into the raised bed. This one is actually going to end up taking less manure because of all the pots I'm emptying into it. So with that in mind, it means I have enough manure to mulch the rest of my beds at the allotment. But obviously I have to take the bags probably 2 at a time, because I can't carry more than that and I don't want to exhaust myself. So we shall see how far we get. But then I've also got to refill all those containers. That looks like the mountain there looks like it's about two of these 80-litre bags. So maybe some of it will be used here. I'm probably going to empty out some of these as well. I've tried the Silver Grow. It is fantastic. It is extremely loose, free draining. That's what you need. So what I'm going to do is, I've got these containers here. They're really nice. However, they're not very good at draining water. So I'm going to work out how I'm going to use them. But everything else is starting to look, well, it's still chaotic, but ultimately there's a method to my madness and I will get there. I'm going to carry on and continue to clear that space. This place looks more chaotic than when I started, but I'm tired. I'm getting tired. I sprinkled some grass around there. In the end, I'll probably end up having to buy some turf and put it down, or I might even buy a roll of artificial turf and put it all the way down there, so that this section will just become artificial turf. Well, that section rather than the shrub itself. I've moved this to here. I'll cut it back quite a bit and put the cuttings in my compost bin, where in Destiny, they'll go in Destiny for now. But as you can see, I'm moving the 30-litre pots to here, and they're going to sit with fabric pots on them. And I'm thinking there'll be I don't know what I'm going to grow in them. this section is the warmest in the summer, so this is going to be my tomato section, and I need to try it out a few times and see what works and what I'll be happy with, and then I'll show you when it's all put together. I do know that these pots are going to be excellent for the tomatoes, and so far here I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is that one there, which I'll change up the reservoir. Those small pots I'm going to put flowers in, because I'm assuming that some of my flowers being seasonal, what I will do is I'll start to put different types of flowers for different times of the year into those small pots, and then I can store them in the back garden when they stop flowering and they're blank, and just put cardboard on them until the next season when they're due, and then I'll pull them out again, and I will keep a diary so I know what I pull out when. So I'm hoping the idea makes sense and that it will work. I'm going to have to move my stones around a little bit in some areas in order to make sure that everything fits nicely, but I think I'm getting there. On another point, I checked the thermometer in there. Highest temperature 37.5, lowest temperature 2.4, and that was on the second shelf. So from what we had yesterday and the day before, looks like the second shelf is slightly colder than the top shelf, which is to be expected because the top shelf gets a lot more sun. I have not checked this one, but I'll check it later. Right, let me just carry on. I'm getting tired, so I think I'm going to stop at 12, regardless of where I'm at with the process it will have to do for today. There's always tomorrow, and I don't want to exhaust myself and end up feeling burnt out by the time I get back to work tomorrow. I mean on Monday. It's good to have a whole weekend off. Okay, I'm getting tired now, and I've just spent a whole lot of time chatting with the postman, and obviously once you do that and stop for a moment, that's when you realize how exhausted you are. These are my new water reservoirs, 40 liters per pot. That should make my tomatoes survive better. I'm surprised that I've successfully fit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I think I'll have space for 9, 10 pots, reservoirs here. And then what I will be able to do is I'll probably put 2 at the front here, in front of those 2 there, and that will give me enough space for the different varieties of tomatoes. So what each pot will get one of the tomato varieties I'm planting, so that we can see how we do. I will still level up this area and do it better, but for now, as you can hear from my voice, I am tired. The chaos is still going on. But at some point I am confident, and I say that with a lot of tongue-in-cheek. I'm confident that it will get easier and that it will get better. I've transplanted a few of my strawberries into these pots here with some Melco, because it is lovely. I love how I have been working with a bin to put all the rubbish in as I go, so that I don't end up with rubbish all over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover that with these bits of cardboard, just as I've done there. And I've also, some of my transplants were placed in here. May as well start to make it look a little bit pretty. Those are 2 bits of Swiss chard, so it's up to them whether they want to survive or not. I've kept that covered, but what I will do is I will get myself some parsnips, find them, sow them into there, and then I'll put some more parsnips there when I fill it up tomorrow or later on. But now I'm going to go in. I've transplanted chard into there. Don't know where I'm going to place these pots for now, but it will be done when it is done. A lot of pots are emptied. I brought one of my little lovely mini daffodil plants from here, from the back, and thought I'd bring it here to join the club. I think this looks absolutely lovely. The combination is beautiful and is making me smile a lot. Right, it is time to go in and rest and relax for a while. And spend some time with Mister as well, because he's indoors. Maybe we'll watch a movie after I finish eating. Have a good one. Bye. Okay, I did not lie, but because the sun came out, I've decided to try and fill this a little bit. Additionally, I'm changing out the bricks for the tiles because I like the tiles. And hopefully I'm not creating a run for my back for slugs, but even if it's a slug trap, I'll open it out and find them and get rid. Put them where the robins can find them. Okay, I'm just going to carry on and do another 2 bags and then I'm done. Seriously, I need to stop. This is the way you end up burnt out. And then the reason I decided to carry on is because I want to transfer this Swiss chard from there into here to give us our first plant. And then what I will do is, instead of cardboard, I'll cover the top with wood chip, and that way it will stop critters thinking that it's a toilet. Right, let me carry on. Okay, I am finished. The Swiss chard is in, the ruby. I've put it in there, thought I may as well. And then I wrapped the paper around it until I have wood chip put in there. I don't want to ruin it. We're still a total and complete mess, as you can see, but we're getting there. We will get there. The rain started. As I told you, I lied. I said I was going to stop and then I didn't, and it started to rain. I think that's the suggestion from Mother Nature that I need to stop and go in. And so I am going to stop and go in after I check on the sugar snap peas. Now, my entrance into this space, I was thinking of where to put it, and I want to put it central here where this raspberry is right now. So for now I have to get past it in order to get to where I need to go. So excuse me. Right, let's get this right. The stone is in the way, but my plan is to be able to come in through here and get to here. Sadly, there's nothing on the sugar snap peas front. Hopefully they'll come up, but I think I bought some more because these are the peas I really want. And those are the peas that are not growing. So we'll wait and see. Oh, I didn't check the temperature. Hold on, let me check the temperature. Okay, lowest here on the second shelf, 1.4. Highest, 37.2. So I think I'm going to move it down 1 shelf and see what we get there. It was on shelf 2 before, now we're putting it on shelf 3. And we'll see what happens. So the lower you go, the cooler it becomes, is what it looks like. But ultimately, each shelf will achieve a higher temperature when it's daytime, which is not a bad thing. Alright, let me go make myself some lunch and rest and relax and study. I do have to study. And then tomorrow I'll sow some broccoli and some red cabbage and maybe some more chili peppers. My south facing garden means that if I sow chili peppers, they'll still grow, and fruit even when I do them late. Right, ciao ciao. When the space looks like this, it's difficult to imagine it fully sorted and tidy and ready for the summer, but I've got another month to get there. This section is starting to get sorted. This section will get sorted. We will be okay once I finish this section. I'm just picturing what I'm going to do along there to make everything nice and tidy and to get the garden to where I want it to be. But weather is gorgeous, which means it's nice to be outdoors, and it's hard to go in and get stuck indoors. So I'm probably going to make my lunch and come and sit out in the sun, something I don't normally do. I'll sit out with a cup of tea and enjoy the sun after that horrid cloud disappears. You see it? The sun is about to go behind there for now.